Hey, this is pretty cool. For the first time in a few months, I have a trailer to react to, and it's a Christopher Nolan movie. Let's do this.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones, too. Use it carefully.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
I'm not saying Armageddon here.
No. Something worse.
I gather you have an interest in a certain Russian national.
Why'd you bring me in?
You really want to know? He can communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa.
Well, I've seen too much.
Well, we'll try and keep up.
Your duty transcends national interests. This is about survival.
Seems bold.
Bold, I'm fine with. I thought you were gonna say nuts.
This is where our worlds collide.
How would you like to die?
Old.
You chose the wrong profession.
Well, that from here.
Hasn't happened yet.
There are people in the future who need us. Who need Tenet.
We need to save them here and now.
This reversing the flow of time. Doesn't us being here now mean it never happened? You want to crash a plane?
But not from the air. No one's so dramatic.
Well, how big a plane?
That part is a little dramatic.
Alrighty. Fun to finally be able to talk about a new movie based off new footage for it. Of course, when will the movie come out? Who knows what's going to happen with that? Be sure to tell me what you thought down below in the comment section real quick. I'm going to watch it one more time, process the whole thing, and then I'm going to start talking. All right, that was pretty much everything I wanted it to be, while not giving away all the stuff I didn't want it to give away. Because you understand better what the gimmick of the story is. What is the hook that makes this a Nolan action thriller? Plus, you see a bunch of the action and thrills in it, while showing us a lot of what we saw before, but a little bit more of it, a couple other sequences, but not in any sort of way in which you could start piecing together the flow of the story. Like, we know that there's a big threat, but I have no idea what that threat is. I have no idea what this is leading towards. And if you ask me to take these two trailers to try and put the sequences in order, I couldn't do it. I had no idea what the actual story of the movie is, while getting a very good vibe of how this is potentially going to be another great Christopher Nolan action thriller. And the thing that I love that he does with these movies is that he takes a familiar genre, that big, into the world guy with a set of skills has to stop the world from being ended, and then he takes an interesting concept in about whether not really time travel, but an interesting twist on it. So it draws in people that love time travel stories, but while not being the same thing. And he invents like a new way of doing action with that concept. And so it's something we haven't seen before. So you take Inception, which is a heist movie, but it's a heist movie about going into people's minds that uses dreams. And so then inside of dreams, there's this idea that things go slower because of the way that we perceived the sequences in their dreams. And what if you had a dream inside of a dream? And so one of them starts falling. So they have this hallway sequence where you're falling in zero-G fight sequence. That's interesting. And you can see with this movie, they're doing car chases where there's inverted time in the middle of it and fight sequences with inverted time in the middle of it. And you go, that's so interesting. How is that going to play out in a movie? And that's where immediately, even if the movie doesn't live up to Inception, Dark Knight standards, he's trying something interesting. He's trying to do something different that we haven't seen before, but in a package that's very mainstream and accessible. That is the brilliance, I think, of Christopher Nolan, that he's doing original things in a package that's exciting for normal people. I watched this trailer, and that's what I got. And then other thing that I think that he does that's great, he has a great way of kind of finding some of the up-and-coming talent while bringing in his usuals, as well as some other familiar faces. So it's a nice mix of all it. He's getting talented people, sometimes using them in different sorts of ways. I love that I didn't know he was in there, but the guy from Yesterday, I've been waiting to see him in more stuff because I've only seen him as the guy that started the movie Yesterday. I want to see him do more stuff. So seeing him show up in this, I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I want to have happen with his career. Seeing Robert Pattinson do some stuff that, like, to the mainstream audience, he's Twilight guy, but to other people that kind of know his indie stuff, they know that he's doing things besides that. This is the movie that I think is going to win over a bunch of people, that he makes sense to play Batman, that the guy that just did a trilogy of Batman movies cast him in his movie. I think it's going to win him over. Washington, following up Black Klansman with a Nolan film, just a great next step in his career. I have nothing but excitement for this project, and I love that we at least have one director out there that studios are like, all right, here's $200 million, $150 million to go tell an original story, and he does something with it that's interesting. I love that. I'm pumped as can be. Tell me what you thought down below. If you want more content from me, check out that video right over there. I don't even know what it is. Hopefully it's an amazing one. And keep talking movies too much.